Good morning, folks. Let me get Facebook aboard, and then we'll get into today's news. And we'll be starting with some big headlines this morning, some big ones, and some nonsense as usual in the press. But the big headlines not really in the press this morning, and the Yes movement here in Scotland. But we'll get there. Right, where are we? Let's get Facebook on board, because they'll enjoy this more than anybody else. Okay, that's Facebook on board. And we're up near the 50 mark already. Alright, and it's Indy Truck Davy out the truck and at home in his office in Salisbury, North Lanarkshire, where I normally am these days. Where it is a beautiful morning, lovely, bright, sunny, clear, 7 degrees, as it is with my friend Martin, my neighbour, 3 miles down the road in Holy Town. He tells me this morning, which is quite unusual actually, because that 3 mile can make a fucking big difference in weather. It can be snowing here and no snow just 3 miles down the hill. But hey, right, let's go on to this big news this morning, shall we? Anyway, that's the weather for Salisbury. If you want to know what weather's like you are, look out your ain't bloody windy. Yeah, maybe drop a wee comment, let me know how it is, as Martin did this morning. Okay, now the big news here in Scotland in the Yes movement is that public enemy and public nuisance number 1 and 2 in the Yes movement have decided to get engaged, allegedly. So, of course, when I come in from my work at 1:45 this morning, and I seen this, I had to, of course, phone one of these two fucking public nuisances up to try and talk them out here. And I reminded one of these two public nuisances that when her sidekick gets back for Gran Canaria, a kick in the bahookies which she's going to get. But anyway, congratulations to Karen and Dean. Karen Bartley and Dean Halliday. Now, Karen, because I'm your friend, I'm going to offer you some advice. I've known Dean for over a decade now. And his lucid moments, which are fucking few and far between, he's quite a bright, intelligent guy. But my advice to you, Karen, since you've decided to take on this fucking nursing role, is make sure he doesn't get off his meds. And when he's off his meds, because he's off his fucking head, I'd strap him to the bed. Alright. Nadine, I'm going to offer you some advice too. As you know, Karen and Lynn are a fucking pair of public nuisances who have been a bane in my fucking life for as long as you have. You're a madman. And I'm assuming that this decision that you made, Dean, was while you were off your fucking meds. Get back on them, son. And then fucking run! Because they two palm pots, nah, it's just no worth it, laddie. Just no bloody well worth it. They've been roasting me for a decade. You've got fucking no chance, son. None whatsoever. None. Right, now that the big news for the indie movement's out the fucking road, oh, I'm going to get drunk. I definitely have to get drunk to try and get this one round my fucking head. They two, plus Lynn, on the fucking streets of Scotland. I mean, Dean spends half his time in the fucking pokey. He's that much a public nuisance. The fucker lives right next to Holyrood Parliament Day. Oh, I'd hate to work in that building with Dean in the fucking vicinity. Jeez, oh. Anyway, Karen, best of fucking luck to you. And Lynn, when you get back from Gran Canaria, don't start hitting her until I get there to watch. Right, let's go on with this. First up today is the Scotsman. And I'm going to put this one up because this one fucking made me laugh. Honest to goodness. Oh, where are we? Here we go. Anger's SNP consultant bill hits 42 million for 2023-2024. I thought, fucking hell, sounds like a lot of dough. Better have a look and see what the House of Thieves and Carpetbaggers spent on consultants 23-24, shall we? So let's put this down and see how much the House of Thieves and Carpetbaggers spent on consultants in 23-24. Shall we? Up we go. And The Guardian, that bastion of journalistic integrity, he says, almost as fucking funnily as he did for Dean and Karen, and how much after meds are pairing them up. And that is scandalous 3.4 billion UK state spending on private consultants last year. And this was dated 31st of August 2024, and the figures would have been released probably in April. So 42 million on consultants. That sounds like buttons. So relatively, if England has 11 times the population of Scotland, then their spend should have been 500 million on consultants. But here it tells us it's 3.4 billion. Wow. That's another non-story for the Scotsman. Wow. By the way, I should point out that 42 million was our 5 years. Ah, great, let's put that down and all. Stop sharing. And we'll move on. Seen I'm in the mood for comparisons today. Right, the record goes on. Shocking toll of classroom violence. 200 school attacks every day. Wow. I thought, Christ, that's massive. If it's 200 school attacks a day here in Scotland, amounting to 42,000 or something like that a year, according to the headline, because I don't think I've got the record there. Let's have a look. Have I got the record here? No, I can't be bothered going looking for it at this point in time. Anyway, so I thought I'd have a look and see what the comparison was with England and Wales and Northern Ireland. And to be honest, apart from England, Wales and Northern Ireland and Scotland are similar. But in England, it's fucking mental. You know, according to the stats, in England, 786,961 people were excluded from school for violence in 23-24. And 9,876 of them have been actually thrown out the education system altogether. Now, I don't know many of the 42,000 here in Scotland were actually thrown out the system, full stop. But the figures weren't great. You know, and once again, if we're going to take it per capita, well, that should be 500,000 in England. But the number says 786,000. Wow. Another bad news story. Apparently, people not being able to bring their kids up properly and discipline them and send them out to be good human beings and behave themselves in the education system is the government's fault. So when my brats play up at school, apparently it's the government's fault. If my brats are violent towards the teachers, apparently it's the government's fault. You've not to listen to me about you, Dean. I'm only joking. You are one of Scotland's greatest public fucking nuisances. And when you're on your meds, you're quite insane, bright, intelligent guy. But normally you're just fucked up. Karen, you have been warned. Right, let's move on. MSP chauffeured to see his favourite team at taxpayer expense. Fury over SNP Health Minister's limo trips to football. Now, apparently, there's a study over the amount of official engagements that Scottish politicians or the SNP government have had at sporting events. Oh, really? Really? You're having a sporting event, you get the First Minister, you get one of the ministers to come along and open the event, attend the event. It's bloody par for the course. But this story is all about replicating here in Scotland, or our politicians, what it is they were kicking up a stooshie about in England with Starmer and Taylor Swift and all that shit. This is pathetic stuff for the Herald. Wow. Absolutely pathetic. Couldn't they make it up? As for limo, chauffeur driven in a limo, Scottish government don't use limos. They use fucking Skodas. Wow. You know that one that all the private taxis use up here in Scotland? The Skoda, whatever the bloody thing it's called. That's what the Scottish government use as government vehicles. Cheap, reliable, and very little in the way of luxury. After all, it is a Skoda. Right, the Metro goes on. Kate's remembrance return. And I thought, Kate's remembrance return? What the fuck's this all about? And then, of course, yesterday we had the junket to celebrate war. Sorry, commemorate war. Sorry, remember those who fell in war. Make your own fucking mind up, because for me, it's got right out of hand. And as an ex-soldier, all this pomp and fucking ceremony to glorify war makes me sick. Makes me sick. Skoda Octavia, thank you. Why does it make me sick? Because don't need pomp and ceremony to remember those who have sacrificed themselves in fucking unjust wars anywhere in the world. We don't need pomp and ceremony, and we don't need to glorify battles of the past to kid our fucking kids on that there is glory in war. And that it's a noble thing to die in violent combat against somebody who's not your enemy because you've never fucking met them. Wow. But that's my view on it. And what will I be doing in the 11th minute of the 11th hour today? I'll be quietly reflecting on the horror of war and how so many of my friends have been injured and passed away in unjust, illegal wars. All right. Right, on we go. Apparently that one that was about the MSP chauffeured, that was actually the Daily Fail, I think. Because the Herald runs on, figures revealed 16.5% of calls to NHS 24 unanswered. Now I wonder, oh, here's all over the place. 16.1%. Any of you people ever walked in a call centre? How many people hang up the phone because they fucked up, they're bored with waiting? I wonder how many people, and this were on the phone, waiting and went, oh no, this is getting serious, I better take them straight to A&E, I better dial 999. 16.5% of those who made calls to NHS 24 Their calls went unanswered. Well, apparently Lynn's homesick. Now she's found out Cam's engaged. Right, anyway. See, I don't see comparables for other call centres, so I don't really know what the script is there. I'd need to see it for the police. I'd need to see it for the fire brigade. I need to see it for ambulance. I need to see it just for commercial purposes and see how common that number is. But, you know me, folks, I will have a look. Because I don't know whether 16.5% is high, whether it's low, whether it's average. And of course, there's always underlying reasons why these calls go unanswered. Probably the biggest reason for it will be cuts in the public services. And generally they're down to the fact that Scotland's getting fucking hammered for doing that road because they made a cunt around the economy. Okay. Right. I think this one's the Times, and it's got PM heads to Paris to talk Trump and tariffs. And underneath that, it says Starmer's away to Paris to talk about free trade. Well, let's hope that includes rejoining the EU. Because apparently everybody seems to think it's desperate at this point in time. With the fear of a Trump government and mere American isolationism and the trade wars that are about to disrupt the worldwide economy. But what Starmer can achieve by going to Paris to talk free trade? France isn't free to talk to Starmer about free trade. This is another bollocks headline. France is a member of the single market. And when it comes to negotiating with countries who are in the single market, you don't deal with the country itself. You deal with the EU. So this idea that Starmer's away to talk about Trump and tariffs and talk free trade, this is bollocks. It's a nonsense headline. Starmer wants to talk free trade with Europe, he's going to have to go to the European Union. No France. He might want France to advocate for him when it comes to rejoining the single market, but he's not going there to talk trade with France. Well, Trump tariffs. France is no free to do that. Right, let's move on. The Telegraph has Starmer plots to thwart Trump on Ukraine. Now, this is more likely why Starmer is in Paris. To convince the European states that they are going to have to up the supply of weapons and money to Ukraine if they're going to keep the meat grinder at a stalemate. Because Trump, he'll fucking poop and take it. Okay. The eye has smash the gangs won't work verdict on Home Office officials on Labour's small boat plan. I don't know how many times I've got to fucking say this. There is no smuggling gangs. What you've got is a bunch of people pitting together, buying a cheap fucking dinghy, taking it down to the coast of France, looking across, seeing the white cliffs of Dover and shouting to their pals, row. Unless they've had enough money to buy an outboard fucking motor. You don't need smuggling gangs to come up with a rubber dinghy. Always needs a couple of grand. That's all. Group of people, pool the resources, buy a dinghy. Get in, point the white cliffs of Dover, row. Or outboard motor. No gangs. You're being gaslighted, people. Especially those of you in the southeast of England. You're being gaslit. fucking small fucking gangs, smuggler gangs. Never heard so much nonsense in all your life. I could put 10 people together here for this bloody show and scrape together enough to buy a dinghy that would get me to Dover, to Calais, or to France. So I'm sure 10 people, 20 people, 30 people in France can pull the resources and buy a bloody dinghy to get from France to here. No smuggling gangs involved in this. Just people with enough resources to buy a form of transport to get across that short span of water. People will believe any shite these days. Fucking smuggler gangs. That's the house of thieves and carpetbaggers for you out of the fucking back. And their client media. Talking about client media, we'll be talking about the Two Davies today. Because the UK media and its defence of Israel has plummeted to a new low. But we'll talk about that this afternoon. Right, the National has St Andrew's Day's Salmon Memorial Service confirmed. So there you go. There'll be a memorial to Mr Salmon held in Edinburgh. I think it's St Giles Church on St Andrew's Day. A fitting day, I would think. Right, the Sun has another celebrity story. I have no idea what it's about. I don't know who it's about, and I don't really care. But I guess I have to give you the headline. Soap fave exits show. Ender has lost the plot. Dozy star leaves Christmas script on train. Enders. The fuck's Enders? Oh, EastEnders, that's right. Aye, do remember. Aye. Well, apparently some TV celebrities left the script for this Christmas special on a train. Who cares? It's about the Kate story. Who cares? And the answer is absolutely fucking no one. Now, what's the star golfer of the day, folks? Yeah, what's the star golfer of the day? I'm going to put a star up, as you know, always do. I love a star. No, it's 2024. You lost a couple of years, Madam Director. The wife asked me if it's 2026. She's almost as batty as Lynn and Kaz. Oh. Right, where are we? Where's my star of the day? There it's there. Here we go, folks. Star Lewis hints orange man baby like cruel king. Remind you of anyone? Trump knew Henry VIII. He's definitely as mad as a fucking hatter. But hey ho, he was the choice of the American people. So suck it up, buttercups. We're in for a bumpy fucking ride. Should be fun. You know, we are blessed to live in interesting times. We are blessed to live in interesting times indeed. Indeed. Right. That's it for the day, folks. That's what I've got for you. You know, it's here in Scotland, the newspaper headlines are pretty nuts. And mostly a lot of bollocks. Contrived crap. But to be fair, and I do look at the English papers, there is much bollocks in the English papers what there is in the Scottish papers. And the way that our politicians, our political systems, and our press treat us It's quite clear they think we're all thick as fuck. And they might well be right. I really think that the jury's out on this one. If you look at some of the mad shit that's happened over the last decade or so, Scotland knocking back the chance to get rid of the House of Thieves and fucking carpetbaggers, Brexit, Bojo, Truss, Sunak, and dictator Starmer. Fuck's sake. And the ever creeping march of fascism into the UK political discourse. Well, sorry, the English political discourse. We're not much into that crap here. Anyway, that's it for the day. Hit the like button, hit the share button. It's not it for the day actually. I'll be back at 4 o'clock this evening, but that's it for now. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you all at 4 o'clock. Be good. If you can't be good, don't get caught. Bye for now. The sheer notion of Dean and Kaz teaming up